Hartlepool, though, is definitely here to stay. In most places, the sudden rise in jobless has created a study of unremitting gloom. But in this ravaged town, where nearly 10,000 are on the dole, that's a quarter of the population without a wage, there's a new vision, a vision of life that's totally changed, an example of post-industrial life with new opportunities.
Also had some money to do renovations in the building. It was quite run down, and for the public to use it safely, we had to have it rewired, the heating had to be corrected, and plumbing. We had to alter the toilets because of the number who were in and out. We would love to do things like put showers in for our gym classes. We are having 1 or 2 walls knocked down so that craft rooms can be expanded. But that is all the capital money will allow us to do. We have no money to paint, we have no money to refurbish or to re-equip. Our classes are expanding all the time, and we don't have enough equipment to cater for those who come in through the front door.
Can you go over once again and explain how the scales are made up?
Major scales.
Please, yeah.
Right. It started off when I was first asked to join Hartlepool People as a 2-hour theory lesson once a week.
Use the scale of C.
But it soon developed into a lot more. I was a professional musician, and it seemed that there was a need for music tuition free, especially because music lessons are expensive. So I started a guitar lesson. People then wanted piano lessons. People then wanted to get together to play the individual instruments together. So we started a music workshop. And it's developed from there now to a recording studio.
In between C and D, if we now raise the scale of C to the scale of D, which is 1 tone higher, we do expect...
I'm a gas fitter by trade. Been unemployed now for 3 years. I get a lot of satisfaction from teaching music because I feel I can pass on some of my own skills to other people to enable them to use more of their leisure time. When there was a lot of work around, leisure time was a lot shorter. Now it's become sort of enforced leisure time and can be very boring. So centres like Hartlepool People are playing a very important role.
When I first came to Hartlepool People, I was a student and I thought it was just a way of passing the time one morning a week. It is very easy to get caught up in not so much different activities, but the activities, you know, what you're interested in, which in my case was music. There was a need for a tutor to teach beginners guitar. I sort of fitted the bill at that time and took over that role. And from that into the studio. The things I'm hoping to do personally is to get into the engineering side of the studio. Studios are very expensive to hire, to use, to rent or whatever. So we thought we would try to run one very, very cheaply. Right, smashing lads, men of steel that time. We'll go from the top a bit later on. Give us a minute and we'll go through Don't Walk Away, right? The atmosphere within Hartlepool People was very, very good. I think it would be wrong for a lot of people to get the impression that because the people down here think it's a good thing, that we're all ecstatically happy and wouldn't want to consider getting employment. I would like to earn a good wage again, you know, but you've got to make the most of what you have got. And when it's nothing, it's really something to do during the day. It's a purpose to get out of bed in the morning, you know. Right, lads, ready? Don't walk away from the top. Whenever you're ready.
Just a minute, Jeff.
Out of the music workshop, three lads got together, decided they had something in common musically, and decided to form a band. And that progressed to the stage where they managed to get on the enterprise allowance scheme. They're given £40 a week, regardless of how much work or how much money they earn in that week. And that's guaranteed for a year to enable them to set the business up. Now they've gone professional. That's Ian, John and Mick.
It started quite by accident, really. I was coming along to the People Centre and John happened to come along. we just started to jam together, and we realised that our voices were compatible, so we decided we'll try a few songs, and everything worked out. Tony Kramer said it might be a good idea if we thought of going professional. Tony put us onto the Cleveland Cooperative Agency, and a gentleman from there came along and listened to us practicing one day, and he thought that, you know, it would be a good venture to start up as a company. So they actually sponsored us by giving us a loan to buy equipment and paid for us to start as a limited company. We were looking around for a drummer. We went to various places, and one of the places was actually the job centre, where we saw an advertisement by a drummer, who was Michael, advertising for a band.
I was in the house one day and John just phoned me up and he says, I've got a bit of a band together. He says, would you like to come down and have a try? And I just finished with the band then, so I came down and met John and Ian and we had a practice together. I've been unemployed since August 1983. Before that I was at college studying just absolutely anything. It was just more or less I think to keep the kids off the street, you know what I mean? Work experience schemes and things like that. If I hadn't joined the band, I would like to have done more of my own material. You know, I like to be creative in what I do.
I've been unemployed since November '84, when I finished Butlands. I was an entertainment red coat. If I was honest, I tended to like the dole. I didn't do anything. I mean, I didn't do it until April, when it was my mum who says there was some guitar courses going down in Hartlepool's People. And I thought, well, why not? And I went down and met Ian, and that's how the band started. I've always been the type of person that has had tunes going on in my head, but not the confidence to bring it out. And just rallying tunes backwards and forwards between Ian and myself sort of give me the confidence. The first song that was written especially for the band was probably Don't Walk Away.
Don't walk away, how I need you. Don't walk away, how I need you. Don't walk away, how I need you. Don't walk away.
I'd like to see Reel to Reel get established. A lot of people have said to us that it takes time to get established. I think we're patient. We've only been on the go since November, and it's going to take time. Having said that, I'd like to see some of these 2 to 3 years as a name that the cabaret circuit could easily recognise and say, Reel to Reel, I've heard of them.